The moment the studio lights dimmed, a hush fell over the America's Got Talent audience, one of those rare silences that felt like the world holding its breath. Backstage, 14-year-old Liam Santiago, a shy Filipino boy with an old guitar slung across his back, wiped his palms on his jeans and whispered a quiet promise to himself, "For Mama, and for everyone who believed in me." Liam had grown up listening to Elvis Presley on a crackly radio in a tiny apartment above his mother's bakery in Manila. His mother used to say the king's voice had a warmth that hugged the heart, and every night, while she kneaded dough, Liam would sing along, imitating the deep, velvet tone that made her smile after long, exhausting days. But when she passed away unexpectedly 2 years earlier, their bakery closed, and Liam moved in with his aunt, who scraped together enough to send him to school and, miraculously, to this audition. As Liam stepped onto the AGT stage, the crowd murmured, surprised to see a small, soft-spoken boy holding himself like someone carrying the weight of a lifetime. Simon leaned forward with curiosity. "What are you singing for us today?" he asked. Liam swallowed, his voice trembling. "A song that reminded my mom of home, and reminded me of her." When the first notes left his lips, rich, golden, impossibly smooth, the room transformed. It wasn't just that he sounded like Elvis. It was deeper, rawer. It was as if every memory, every loss, every dream stitched itself into each word. People gasped, some stood up instinctively. It didn't feel like imitation. It felt like resurrection. But in the middle of the second verse, something utterly unexpected happened. Liam's voice cracked, not from nerves, but from emotion, and he stopped singing entirely. A wave of whispers surged through the audience. His eyes glistened as he looked down at his guitar, hands shaking. "I'm sorry," he whispered. I can't do this." For a moment, it seemed like everything he had fought for, every sacrifice his mother made, was slipping away. The judges exchanged glances, the audience waited, silent and unsure. Then, softly, a sound rose from the second row. An elderly woman, white-haired, gentle-faced, began singing the next line of the song in a trembling voice. It was off-key, fragile, but filled with unmistakable love. Her husband joined her. Then the couple next to them. Within seconds, the entire auditorium, thousands of strangers, began singing together, lifting the melody for him as though cradling him in a collective embrace. Liam's breath hitched. His mother used to say that kindness is the only thing powerful enough to revive a broken voice. And here it was, kindness, blooming around him like a rising tide. He looked up, tearful, overwhelmed by this unexpected miracle. Slowly, he found the strength to lift his guitar again. His fingers strummed softly, then confidently. His voice, steady, glowing, reborn, rose above the crowd, guiding the song back into his own hands. By the time he reached the final note, the entire room was on its feet. People were crying openly, even the camera operators wiped their cheeks. Simon stood slowly, his face unusually tender. "Liam," he said, voice thick with emotion, "I've watched thousands of auditions. But what just happened wasn't a performance, it was a reminder. A reminder of the good that still exists in this world." The elderly woman who first sang wiped tears from her eyes. She blew him a kiss. "For your mama," she whispered. Liam pressed his hand over his heart. Then Simon reached forward and slammed the golden buzzer. Golden confetti erupted like a shower of stars, swirling around Liam as he dropped to his knees, overwhelmed. But instead of celebrating alone, he did something unexpected. He walked to the edge of the stage and hugged the elderly woman who had helped him find his voice again. "Thank you," he whispered. "You brought her back to me for a moment." She held his face gently. "No, sweetheart, you brought her back. We just helped you remember how loud love can be." As Liam returned to center stage, confetti still cascading, the audience erupted again, not for an Elvis sound-alike, not for a viral moment, but for a boy who reminded them that even in a world that often feels divided, compassion is still powerful enough to change the course of a life. That night, people across America would replay his audition, not just to hear his voice, but to feel again the warmth of that shared humanity, strangers singing to lift a child they'd never met. And as Liam walked off stage, clutching a single piece of golden confetti, he whispered, "Mama, we made it." Because in the end, his story wasn't just about talent. It was about the incredible, transformative strength of kindness, the kind that melts walls, mends spirits, and proves that sometimes, the greatest music in the world is made not by one voice, but by many hearts beating together.